Hi everyone, Tyler here from TW-Waytek. Today we're going to be talking about how to back up an Azure SQL database to a Lakehouse using a Microsoft Fabric pipeline. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is, so this is my test environment in Fabric. You can see I already created a pipeline and a data or a Lakehouse. And to do that, you can just go up to the new item, and here you can create a pipeline, and scroll down a little bit. You can also create a lakehouse. So this is our blank lakehouse. This is what we'll be using in the example. And this is our pipeline. So this is what we're going to be building, and we'll go through the different steps to do so. So let me just first show you. So there's nothing in the lakehouse. We just create it, give it a name, and then save it, and you're good to go there. So for this, I'm using a. Let me just. We're going to be using a sample database from Microsoft. I uploaded it to an Azure SQL database. So we're using the Worldwide Importers sample database, and there's multiple schemas. We're going to be using the warehouse schema. It has 13 tables in it, and so I created a script that is called table name, and we're going to be looking for all the tables in the warehouse schema, and then we're sorting them by ascending order. So we're going to use this in our lookup activity in the pipeline so that we can figure out all the names in the database. So as a backup purpose, I want to be able to have it dynamic. So no matter what changes to the table names are, if there are changes, if there are additions, subtractions, this query will allow it to stay dynamic. So every time it runs, it'll be a fresh look at your database. So come back here to our pipeline. So you want to start, if you go to activities, so you'll start from the home, you're going to go to activities, and your first activity is going to be a lookup. So you can just click here, it'll create a new lookup. You can give it a name, and okay, so I'm giving it the name lookup table names. It automatically defaults to activated. No other changes here, nothing under advanced. So for settings, we want to look up our Azure database and look up the tables in the schema that we're interested in. So you can populate your connection to your database, or Azure SQL database in this case. Connection type is Azure SQL. The database name is the Worldwide Importers. So instead of listing the tables, we're going to do a query, and then I'm essentially just taking the query that I wrote in SQL and just pasting it here. And to make sure it works, we can just double click on preview the data. Give it a second. It should pop up any second now, or any minute. Okay, here we go. So we got our table list. Don't check first row. Somehow I got this checked by mistake, and it took me a while to figure out why my pipeline wasn't working. So just be careful on that. Nothing to update in the advanced part. So that's it for our lookup. It's going to go into the Azure database, look up the table names in the schema that we're interested in, and now we can use that to copy as part of our copy function of the pipeline. So our next activity is a ForEach. You can just click on here. And when you do that, you can actually do your connection. So you want to put it on completion of your lookup. And you would just drag it over to your ForEach. action, and that'll put your connection. So once this completes, it's going to start the next part of our pipeline. Okay, so we named our for each action for each table name. Again, it defaults to activated. Under our settings, on your items, click on your items field, and then it'll populate or open up a pipeline expression builder. So here we can just, under your activity outputs, I'm just looking for our lookup table names activity output. It populates it up here, and then we're going to put a dot. In this case, we want the value, and that's it for our for each. Under activities, you're not going to have anything here yet, but we're going to go ahead and add. So you can add an activity within your for each, and here we're going to do a copy data activity. So you would come over here, go to your copy data, and click add to canvas. We don't want to use the copy assistant. So now we're going to look at our copy. So I named it copy table data, and essentially we're going to copy the entire database, table by the entire schema in the database that we're interested in, table by table. So here under general, we just give it a name. It defaults to activated, and there's nothing populated or updated in the advanced section. So for our source, now we're actually going to be pulling our tables. So here we want connect back to our SQL database, our database name, the worldwide importers. For our query, we want table, so we want each table. Your first part is going to be your schema. So here we got warehouse, and then we're going to have a dot, and then here we're going to click on this, and it's going to open up our expression builder, and then here you can just click on the for each current item, and then you can put your dot, and in this case we're going to put our table name, which is table name. So, and that will iterate through each item of the for each loop. So we look up the tables, we want to loop through each one of those and grab the item, which is the table name. And in this case, it'll pull the actual table in the database. And nothing special under the advanced. So our destination is going to be our Lakehouse. So actually, we're going to select a different one. We're going to select our second database, or our second Lakehouse to back up to. We want to do the tables. We're going to enter them manually. We'll use schema warehouse. For table name, we'll use the dynamic content. For each dot table name. We're going to overwrite it since it's a backup. I want to overwrite it. I mean, I guess technically you could append it, depends. But in this case, I'm just doing an overwrite just so it doesn't get too bloated. And there's nothing more we need to do here. We'll go over to our mapping. So here you can select the allow data truncation. This will this helps with the import process where, you know, the data, the Lakehouse may not have all the same acceptance of data types. So this will give you a little flexibility into bringing over different data types to give you for instance. So like it mentions here, like doing a date time offset to date time, or decimal to integer, that sort of thing. So it is helpful there. And we don't have to import the schemas or anything. It'll just take everything that's in the table accordingly. And under settings, there's nothing specific here. We are going to need to update, so that's good. So now we're ready to give it a test and see how it works. So to run our pipeline, we're just gonna come over You can come here to home and just click run. Oh, I guess we should save it. So it's saving and now it's running. So our first step is our lookup. Won't take too long. So our lookup was successful, and now we're iterating through each of our tables in the database and bringing them over into our Lakehouse. And again, it's relatively quick. It's not a whole lot of data in the database. I think 50 megabytes, something like that, so nothing crazy. Okay, so everything ran, everything's a success. We're happy about that. And if we go to our backup Lakehouse, just refresh that here. You can see our, okay, not sure what that was. You can see the new schema here as warehouse, and we can, oh, yeah, these are the Paracat files. We can look at the SQL endpoints. So again, we can look at the tables. Should all be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. And yeah, if we want to run a query, we can. So yeah, so the data is there. And actually, if we can just show you real quick, you can also query it in our from within our in this case we're using VS Code. So I just refresh it, we can see our second Lakehouse database here. So this is the SQL endpoint of the Lakehouse, and we can look at the tables here and we should be able to see them all. There we go. We can run a query off the data. It's read-only for the Lakehouses, but still pretty cool. And oh, one other thing we can do is, so in the pipeline, so under the run, we can schedule it. So as a backup, this was something that can run. So you can schedule it to run hourly, by the minute, daily, weekly, etc. So I had it done weekly, and I had I essentially had one of these for each day of the week. It would run late at night, and then overwrite after the following week. So that gave me a 7-day backup of our database. So yeah, so that's what you would do here. For more information on this video and more, make sure to visit my website at TW-Waytek.com. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description below. So that concludes my video. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to get all the latest technology tips, and to visit my website at TW-Waytek.com, where you'll find even more tips and tricks. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.